Hello and welcome to my presentation on exercise and cancer. Should you exercise and how should you exercise? So first of all, who am I? My name is Kevin Rees. I am a professional fitness instructor. I worked for 8 years at the Craven Fitness Centre here in Skipton, and I would get GP referrals and stroke survivors sent to me. So if a doctor thought the person's medical condition could improve with exercise, then they would be referred to me. I would help them get fitter, get stronger, and learn how to exercise more. Currently, I do private coaching and I run the Get Moving exercise classes for people with limited mobility in and around Skipton. At the time of recording, with the COVID pandemic going on, we don't do face-to-face classes anymore, but we do online ones, and I'll tell you about them at the end. What do I mean by exercise? It can mean different things to different people. So just so you know, while during this talk, I'll be talking about three main forms of exercise. Physical activity. Any and all physical movements, daily chores, walking, working, anything that involves the body moving and not being sat still. So this can mean a great many things, to be honest with you. As long as you are not sat still, as long as you are moving around, as long as your body is being physically active, yeah, I include that. I'm talking about that. We don't have to do specific exercises. We can just be more physically active. Cardio or cardiovascular exercise, or CV, it's got many different names. This is what people often think about first and foremost when we think of exercise. Things that get you out of breath. Running, swimming, cycling, dancing, aerobics, stuff like that. This kind of exercise improves the heart and lungs. It gets you out of breath, gets the blood pumping. And the last form, strength training. I'm going to labour this one a little bit, simply because people tend to not remember this one so much. They tend to think more about cardio and not think about strength training. Things that make your muscles tired. Weightlifting, calisthenics, that's just a fancy name for body weight exercises. So think of things like press-ups, sit-ups, stuff like that. This improves strength, joints, bones, your mobility. Again, it just gets you moving and improves the way your body functions. Is exercise safe for me? Short answer, yep, it is. Go for it. Off you go. Do it now. Off you go. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you've got the latest government guidelines or recommendations for physical activity for adults. And this does not differentiate between adults who are healthy or fit or not fit or have a medical condition or anything like that. It does include all adults. We treat you all the same. So all adults of whatever level have the same exercise guidelines. That being, you can see on the little poster there, at least 150 minutes of moderate activity per week. So what does moderate mean? That's kind of subjective, but the way I look at it, there's many ways to think about it, but the way I look at it is stuff which will get you nicely out of breath. Not gasping, not dying, not working you, not flogging you to death and making you work really, really hard, but also not sitting still. Just, yeah, you're definitely getting nicely out of breath, maybe getting a bit of a sweat on, huffing away nicely, working harder than normal. Next bit, build strength on at least 2 days per week. Now notice they've put that front and center of that poster. Again, that's because a lot of people, when they think of exercise, they don't tend to think about building strength. They think more about the aerobic side. Aerobic side, the cardiovascular bit is fantastic, but we mustn't forget about building strength. So I'm going to sound a bit stereotypical now, but there are people who just think strength training is not for them. They don't need it. It's not for, often associated with aesthetic preconceptions. They think, oh, strength training, you mean become a bodybuilder? Well, that's not me. I'm not talking about becoming a bodybuilder. I mean, you can if you want. There's nothing stopping you at all. Go for it if you want. But strength training does not mean trying to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It just means building up your strength. And that is for very practical purposes. So we need strength to climb the stairs. We need strength to move things around. Those things could be shopping, it could be kids or grandchildren, it could be stuff in the garden, it could be anything. Anything that where we have to move things around, and that includes our own body, we need strength. We need muscles to do that. So strength training is vitally important just to do things that we want to do in our everyday lives. So they're putting that front and center and making sure people realize, put time aside specifically to build your strength. Bottom left, it says minimize sedentary time. That just basically means spend less time sat still doing nothing. The picture's there, someone laying on the sofa, sitting at a desk. It can be anything. If we're sat down, not doing anything, we want to minimize that. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying minimize it. If we can do something, anything other than sitting down, then that is good. Do that other thing. That last bullet point I've added there is one I've added. Avoid the easy option. That's just a nice mindset, that is. Whenever we do things in life, we've got choices. We can make things harder or we can make things easier for ourselves. A classic example would be something like walking into a building and you look ahead, you can see a lift or you can see a flight of stairs. The easy option is get in the lift and up we go. If at all practical, if at all possible, avoid the easy option. Take the stairs, do something else. Don't just gravitate straight towards whatever is the easiest thing. You don't have to do the hardest thing. To get to the top of the building, you don't have to suddenly become Spider-Man and climb up the outside of the building. That's really hard. I'm not saying do that. Just avoid the easy option whenever you can. Is exercise a cure? And by this, I mean, is exercise for a cure for cancer or for anything else really? And no. Short answer, no. It is not a cure. But it is a very, very, very good treatment for many things. A healthier, fitter, stronger body is more robust, more resilient one, a tougher one. So it just works better. It just does things better. It works internally, so our internal organs just work a little bit better. And externally, we're just able to do more things. Second bullet point, everyday activities and chores are easier. So if we are stronger, fitter, just stuff every day becomes easier. So the classic example is doing a garden or something, doing your household chores. Instead of them taking all your energy and wiping you out, you're able to do these things and still have energy, still have strength left afterwards. So you can do other things. It does not take everything out of you to do these things we have to do. It just makes our everyday lives easier. Also, as you probably know, it lowers the risks of many other conditions, many other medical conditions that can take a toll on your body. Just because we have one medical condition does not make us immune from all others. So there are plenty of medical conditions associated with being sedentary and overweight. Heart disease, stroke, cardiovascular disease, stuff like that. If we are more active, if we do more exercise, it lowers those risks, just like it would for anybody else. So instead of having lots of things to worry about, we'll only have one, and one is markedly better than lots of things. Exercise can help you maintain a healthy weight. So this is not only just to do with health, but also there's just aesthetics. A lot of people look and feel better if they are a certain weight, if they don't become overweight. Maintains healthy hormone levels. A well-exercised, well-functioning body, like I said before, it just tends to work better internally. It's a bit like having a well-tuned car. It just runs better. And the same thing with our body here. The hormones just work a bit better. They are at the right levels. They get less out of sync with each other. Just imagine going through puberty again, where the hormones are all over the place. Nobody wants that. Plenty of exercise, staying active, helps keep hormone levels under control. Improves digestion. On a very practical level, we don't want to be burping and farting our way around all day. So just being having plenty of exercise, it just makes all the internal bits of our body work a bit better. Our digestion runs a bit more smoothly. Things work better inside. So exercise before diagnosis. And by this I mean just exercise for everyone in general, the human race. Regular exercise in every human being can reduce the risk of many illnesses. There's some stats here. I'll whiz through these quickly now. Things like diabetes are reduced by 40%, cardiovascular disease, falls, depression, joint and back pains, colon, breast cancers, all these various medical conditions, the risks are reduced if we take plenty of exercise. And that is just for everybody across the board. Exercise during treatment. So I've got a couple of quotes here I like, so I'm just going to read these out and leave them as they are, really. If we could turn the benefits of exercise into a pill, it would be demanded by patients, prescribed by every cancer specialist, and subsidized by governments. It would be seen as a major breakthrough in cancer treatment. And the level of evidence is really indisputable, and withholding exercise from patients is probably harmful. So if you don't stop thinking of exercise as exercise, think of it as just a medication which you can take in pill form, it would be revolutionary. And not giving somebody this medication would almost certainly be harmful for them. It would probably be negligent. So there will be very, very few cases where people would say, don't exercise. Exercise during treatment. Studies have shown that exercise during treatment shows significant improvements in various aspects of our life. We'll whiz through these now. Quality of life. That's a bit of a fuzzy, subjective one, but it just means how much you enjoy life. Can you do more things? Can you get out and about? Can you live life to the full? Can you do all the things that an average human being should be able to do in their average life? Enjoy life, basically. It improves fitness, energy, and strength. That kind of goes without saying. That's what exercise does. It makes us fitter and stronger. The energy bit is very important. The way I look at it, there's two ways that we can be tired, two main ways we can be tired. When somebody says they're tired, I always ask them, do you mean sleepy tired or worn out tired? Sleepy tired, fatigue, where you're just feeling run down and everything's on low power. That's a low energy feeling there. The other kind is after you've done something vigorous. Your mind is probably whizzing. Your mind's probably racing. You're feeling so alive. You're feeling tired. Your body's worn out. Your muscles are tired. But you are just feeling so much more alive. You've got that spark of energy. It's a really weird feeling where your body is low on energy, but your internals, your mind, your whole life is just buzzing. You've got that spark. Exercise can help you maintain and improve that high energy spark there. That ties in with anxiety and depression. We feel that high energy, that spark of life, we feel after we've done something, anything energetic and accomplished it. It can really help fight against anxiety and depression. It can make us feel good. It makes us feel successful, like we've achieved something. Exercise also shows significant improvements in body mass index and waist circumference. It helps keep your body weight under control, essentially. Physical function is just all the things your body can do. Is it able to climb those stairs, climb that hill? Is it able to pick things up so you can do your household chores? Is it able to go for a walk long enough that you can enjoy it with your kids or grandchildren, something like that? It's just the things that your body can do. The more exercise we do, the fitter, stronger we are. We can do more of these things. And sleep quality. This one's a bit of an important one, really. People who exercise more tend to get to sleep quicker and easier. They sleep deeper and they wake up more refreshed. They wake up as if they've had a nice, good night's sleep instead of waking up feeling groggy as hell. The vicious cycle of lack of exercise during treatment. This happens with everyone, to be honest with you. If we start at the 12 o'clock position there, we feel fatigued, we feel tired. A common thing there, and a totally understandable thing there, is that then we take excessive rest. We rest more. We feel tired, so we rest more. Resting more means that we do less activity, and so we lose strength, we lose fitness. Because we're doing less, we get less fit and strong. That in turn leads to us having to take more rest. Because we are less fit and we are less strong, we can do less things, so we need to rest more. Otherwise, we get more fatigued, we get tired. And the more tired we get, the more rest we need. The more rest we need, the less we do, and the less fitness we have, and the more tired. And it becomes a vicious downward cycle, a negative feedback loop. It is difficult, not impossible, but difficult to get out of that negative feedback loop. But we can do it, and people do it all the time. What we're after is to turn that into a positive feedback loop. And the way to do it is by doing it in baby steps. We do something, anything, but we do something. Something will help maintain and improve our fitness and strength. And when we are fitter and stronger, and when we are able to do more things, it becomes almost second nature to do more things. And then when we do more things, that helps us be a bit fitter, a bit stronger. So we're able to do more things, so we do end up doing more things, and it becomes an upward, positive feedback loop. It is difficult changing it from a negative to a positive feedback loop, but it is possible, and people do it all the time. And I thoroughly recommend that all of us put the time and effort into changing it from that negative to positive. It makes such a world of difference. I'm telling the truth here. I really mean it. However, of course, there are precautions we all need to be aware of. Exercise does come with risks. Everything in life comes with risks, including exercise. As there are many forms of cancer and treatment, just be aware of the following. These won't apply to everybody. Everyone's kind of unique, but be aware of these major things. Cancer affecting your bones. There is a higher risk of breaks and fractures. So be careful with things that involve high impact or heavyweight training. High impact would be things like, I don't know, boxing, getting hit like that, but also stuff like high jumps, jumping in general. Dancing can be high impact, and things like running as well. It can be high impact. Every time your foot hits the floor, you are impacting the floor, and there will be force going through your body. People will deal with it in different ways. People will be more or less able to deal with it. But even things like running, dancing, stuff like that can be high impact. Things like swimming, yoga, cycling, all these have been proven to be low impact and incredibly good forms of exercise. So if you need to be careful of breaks and fractures, try things like swimming, cycling, yoga. Really good. You get all the benefits with far fewer risks. With low immunity, be extra careful around public gyms, public swimming pools. To be honest, we all need to be a bit more careful at the moment. But of course, in hot, sweaty, humid environments, there will be higher risks of cross-contamination, contagion, stuff like that. So just be careful. You may need to train or exercise in more outdoor places, or take special care about hygiene and things like that. Peripheral neuropathy, that's a loss of sensation, feelings of pins and needles in fingers, hands, toes, feet, things like that. So a practical implication of this is not being able to control the feet as well. So things like, says, try an exercise bike. So with an exercise bike, you put your feet on the pedals and you strap them in. You don't need to control them after that. They are strapped in. They're not moving anywhere else. You don't have to control where they go. You just pedal around. It eliminates one possible complication. Breast cancer, make sure upper body exercises are done with good control. Now, to be honest, that's exactly the same advice I would give anybody and everybody, whether they have cancer or not. All exercise should be done with control. If we have an injury, or if we have had surgery or something involving some part of our body, then we would obviously take a bit more control with that part of the body. And that's exact same advice I would give anybody. So I'm afraid nothing special there. Sorry. It is just good general advice. So exercise after treatment. So after your treatment is finished and you've been given the all clear, then you should consider yourself a regular average adult. Sorry, there's nothing special about you at all. Crack on like the rest of us. Go for it. So follow the guidelines as they are for all other adults. Go for it. All I would say, though, would be, and again, I would say this to anybody who's coming back after a bit of a layoff, you might be starting from a slightly lower starting point, so be sensible. The same precautions I would advise to you as I would advise to everybody else. Start steady, increase gradually, and enjoy. So start steady, start almost embarrassingly easy. You have the rest of your life. In fact, we all have the rest of our lives to improve and get healthy, get fitter, get stronger. We don't have to hit the ground running full speed straight away. Start embarrassingly easy. Make sure everything's okay. We can always build up from there. We will build up from there. So start steady, increase gradually. A classic example is to improve or increase the intensity of your exercise by 5, maybe 10% every week or two. Lots and lots of baby steps, gradually increasing over time, measured over weeks and months, not over a few minutes or anything. Gradually build up over weeks and months. And enjoy, because fingers crossed, you're going to be doing this for the rest of your life. That's a long time. If we don't like it, if we don't enjoy it, we're going to find every excuse possible to bail out of it, avoid it, and cut it short and do it half-assed. That's not going to do any of us any good. So make sure you enjoy it, and then you'll find any excuse to do more of it and get stuck in. If you don't like the exercise you're doing at the moment, change it. Honestly, there are millions of different kinds of exercise out there. Guaranteed there'll be some kind that you will enjoy. So if you don't like the current exercise, don't feel bad. Change it for something else. There are loads to choose from. Give it a go. You're going to be doing this for a long time, so have fun doing it. So, local resources. As I say, I run the Get Moving exercise classes for people with limited mobility. Normally, we would have these face-to-face at the time of recording. We can't do this because of COVID. All details, though, are available on the website there, www.reesfitness.co.uk/getmoving. As and when the face-to-face classes start up again, all details will appear there. Over COVID, though, we've been doing, instead of the face-to-face, we've been doing online mini classes. Weekdays at 11 o'clock on Facebook. I go on Facebook Live and we do a simple, basic little warm-up routine lasting 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that kind of thing. And we do that every day. There's an archive of all the old exercise videos that we've done, and they are available on the Get Moving website. So again, have a look on our website. And as I say, though, as and when face-to-face classes will start again, all information will be available on the website. So check back there. However, as I said at the start, I spent 8 years working at Craven Leisure Centre. Basically, if your GP, if your doctor or nurse thinks that exercise can benefit you, and I've yet to meet any doctor or nurse who thinks otherwise, so if they think it could benefit you, they can essentially prescribe you exercise. They can give you a form, you take it to the Craven Leisure Centre, and then you will get reduced rates for everything they have there. Swimming, gym, classes, the works. Now again, just because of COVID, everything's a bit up in the air. They don't have their full service at the moment. So check back on the website there and to see exactly what they can offer at the moment. But it is well worth it. If you're over towards Keighley Way, they have exactly the same scheme. Because they're over the board, they call it a different name. And it's called the BEEP scheme there. I believe that stands for Bradford Encouraging Exercise Programme, I think. But it's abbreviated to BEEP, B-E-E-P. Again, you get reduced rate and full access to everything they've got going there. But again, of course, time of recording, because of COVID, everything's up in the air a little bit. So check on their website for the up-to-date details. I've done classes there and everything. It is a fantastic place. It is well worth checking out. Lastly, though, the last bit of homework I'm going to leave with you, it's a thought, really. Every time you find yourself saying, I can't do that, follow up with the phrase, but I can do this. Don't get stuck in listing a whole massive list of the things you cannot do. That is a depressing mindset to be in. Make that list if you want, but for everything on that list, come up with an alternative that you can do. You will be surprised how extensive that second positive list is. Seriously, I really mean it. Thank you very much. That's my little talk. I hope it went okay. I hope I didn't bore you to death. If you have any questions, you can always get in touch with me via my website. That's www.reesefitness.co.uk. Get in touch with me there, ask any questions, but I thoroughly recommend everyone finds the exercise they enjoy doing and do it. You can get professional advice from me and from many other people. It's okay. It is well worth it. Our lives will be better when we move more. Thank you very much, and I'm sure I will see you around soon. Goodbye.